My name is Badibor Otsaivo. I was the 2023 Labour Party gubernatorial candidate for Lagos State. I'm an architect by profession, and I have interest in commodities, construction, technology, payment systems, and laboratory, well, genetic technology. Um, and diagnostics, especially in the interest of preventative medicine, intelligent data gathering medicine. So those are some fields that my investment company has interest in. So I have interest in those fields, and commodity trading, from agro produce to solid minerals, internationally and locally. Aside that, I'm an architect. I practice as I can. A lot of people don't bring work for me again because they say I'm a big man. They cannot afford me. They say we need architecture for our bread and butter money, but we still practice. We still design buildings. We're designing one currently that is very exciting for us. And what else? And I'm a proud Lagosian. I'm a son of Lagos. Oh my God, Pataki ni mi. And I'm a Nigerian. I think being a Nigerian is the biggest responsibility of everything now with the state of our nation. But yeah, that's me.
Thank you very much.
And because there was one time where this was a big deal. I'm a father. I'm a husband. There was one time where he said men don't introduce themselves as that. So yes, I'm a father and a husband. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us on Sahara TV. It's a pleasure to be having this interview again. I would like to take it from the most recent action of you joining another political party, and from Labour Party to ADC. I'd like you to talk about what informed the decision and the processes involved. But I'd like you to start from if you would be running in 2027.
Why do people like asking this same question? All of you know I'm running, so why do you keep asking the same question? I've been saying I'm going to run by God's grace since 2024. So yes, my intention is to run for office again. We've built a lot of momentum in 2023, and I did not keep silent after the election. I went all the way to Supreme Court challenging the declaration of INEC. And since then, I've been building my community presence across Lagos State, micro health insurance program. I've been doing it all over Lagos State using the RV Foundation. Enmeshed myself deeply in communities, built more of a grassroots base. I think it's fair to say I'm stronger today than I was in 2023 politically. So yeah, I'm running.
Okay, so let's talk about the movement from...
And then to your question, ADC. Why ADC from Labour Party? From 2023, I've said it again and again that we cannot afford to divide the opposition, right? You add Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's votes to His Excellency Peter Obi's votes, it's a done deal, And even in dividing the opposition, it leaves a lot of room for rigging, because now all the forces that should be aligned to prevent that from happening, they are divided and they're looking out for their own interests. So I've said it since 2023, 2024, that to actually mount a successful election for the opposition, they need to come together. Especially with what we're seeing now, the level of lawlessness in this country, the level of state capture in this country. Everybody that stands against this lawlessness and this government, for all the negativity that it has brought to the people, must come together. So the ADC was a natural flow for me. Labour Party found itself enmeshed in so much court problems and court drama, and the time where they should have spent, they should have built the party out, and everybody should have come together to achieve a political solution to our issues and build a grassroots presence, build a robust structure, because we have the goodwill, we had the favor of the people, but that was just wasted because it was just too much infighting, courts, appeal, back again, back to court. There was no, I mean, look at the situation today. So I made the right decision.
Okay, so I would like to ask, you just mentioned the momentum Labour Party had and all of that. Do you think it's had a hand of the authorities? Do you think it was aided by the ruling party based on their antecedents, or do you think it is just the coming together of misaligned forces under Labour Party and then people who did not agree to a certain principle at first?
I cannot, it's very easy to blame the ruling party that they are interfering in this and that. I mean, if you look at the PDP, you can say that very clearly. I would not say the same for Labour Party. I think you can only be manipulated if you choose to be manipulated, especially in politics. If people understand the bigger picture and understand the value of aligning and solving their problems in the House, they will do that. They will get it done. They'll get it done. If people want to hold on to ego and, just want to hold on to a title for the sake of holding on to a title, then they are not ready for the big leagues. They are not ready for the big leagues. And then ultimately you hold on to that title and your party is empty, right? So.
Yeah, I want to ask, you came from PDP to Labour Party. Do you think that at this point, ADC is a stronger platform compared to PDP?
Most certainly. It's not that PDP is a weak platform. PDP has its enemy. The Wike is the weapon fashioned to destroy the PDP. And he has done such a tremendous job at it. But the PDP can also not just blame Wike. The PDP is also a victim of its greed. Its inability to do the right thing at the right time, at a certain point. And that was the tipping point, And since then, it now has a situation where they are dealing with a vengeful Wike, from the G5 to him currently being a minister in the APC government and just controlling when they have convention, when they don't have Congress. Like, it's a terrible situation.
I also want to ask, can we say you are totally aligned with Peter Obi based on what informed the movement as well? Because he had moved and that informed your own movement. Is it
he had moved?
He had moved to ADC.
When?
January, I think this year, or
when did
December
I move to
31st.
ADC?
Oh, you moved before he did.
So,
okay. Apologies for that. Okay, apologies for that. But I just want to, because I'm building up to the question of the acceptance of Peter Obi in Lagos.
Okay.
And how it played out in 2023. He won the presidential election in Lagos. And that was he had some sort of issues that came with it, and that affected positively or maybe negatively your own campaign in 2023. So I want to ask if you're still aligned with that, and what are the signs you're seeing now? You said you're stronger politically now. So do you think that you have been able to navigate the issues that came up 2023, especially with Peter Obi?
See, there is no state like Lagos in Nigeria. No state. No state. No state. No state in the southwest, no state in the southeast, no state in the north. Lagos is extremely unique. Lagos will always, it's not by mistake they call it the center of excellence. Excellence does not care where you are from. Excellence cares about excellence. A lot of people don't understand or know the history of Lagos. So there's a lot that one has to deal with in terms of perception. Lagosians chose Peter Obi overwhelmingly because they saw an excellent man. At least the most excellent of the bunch. If you take away the violence, if you take away the intimidation, if you take away the election malpractice, you would have seen that margin was a lot more significant than what they declared. I don't believe that has changed because Lagosians are facing an even worse reality. During my elections, Sonlu and Hamzat went to go and campaign at Makoko. They had a big banner in front of Makoko, Greater Lagos Rising. I don't know if you remember. When you are going on Third Mainland, you look down, you see huge. Now look at what they've done to those people after. Are those the ones that will vote for them again? Are those the ones that will say, Peter Obi is from here or Peter Obi is from there? Now look at what they did in Oro. Even in Bejuleki, they are destroying places. Where was I? I was in... What was I? Ifakojai. They are destroying. Demolishing everywhere. Without any plan for where these people will live or where they will relocate to, and understanding the high cost of rent in this state. There's no plan for them. Now, who would all those people vote for? I say to people that you see this, because what they try to do is create or turn this electioneering and an idea where people should be deciding on their leader based on his manifesto, his plans for them, his character, his competence, his vision. Because guess what? You can be from Oduduwa himself. If you are a thief, you are a thief. If you are stealing the money meant to make people's lives better, their health care, their education, to make the quality of roads better, you are a thief. This is what people should be worried about. Because guess what? The entire state assembly, where are they from? Have you seen how much they are stealing? A generator that's supposed to be 16, 17 million, they are putting to pay 130 million. That's their budget for it. They are budgeting house for themselves in Abuja. Car that is 30, 40 million, they are budgeting 450 million. Are those ones on Moluabi? Are they? No, are they? Let's talk about it. Because these are the things that matter. It's not the surface or this name calling. What is affecting your life? The speaker that they removed, that they were accusing of 45 billion fraud, that they say he used, is it 7 billion or 17 billion to build gates? Where is he from? What language does he speak? It's like people don't know what 1 billion is. If you take 1 billion and spend it on a local government, education, healthcare, they will feel it. They will feel it. This is money that these people, 40 of them, are just putting in their pockets. You see, it's not just car, it's not just generator, it's not just house. They are budgeting this money for car every year. 20 billion every year. Since they got in 2023. So, you see, we need leaders that have love for their people. I will tell you, The Lagos under the Oyinbo man, you might not like me for it, but it's the truth. Oyinbo people were coming to study here in our medical schools. They were coming to study here. Our education was wonderful. Our healthcare system was wonderful. The systems that they built, the canal systems that they built was wonderful. You might not like it, but it's the truth. What language were they speaking? So, listen, language is important. Our culture is important. Our history is important. It's important to know who we are. Let us not mix it with governance and the management of resources. The management of resources, the people we put in charge of that should not be using lawyer to hide their certificates. They should not have controversy on their name, whether they are a thief here, they are a thief there, or they are involved in drugs, or they have some kind of link to fraud or something. I mean, are we enjoying ourselves? I mean, are we happy? There's no plan for the poor. There's no plan for the masses. At least look at Alhaji Lateef Jakande. The Jakande estate he built everywhere. Jakande. How many mass housing that people are staying? Have you seen Tinubu? Where is Tinubu housing estate? No, let's think about it. This man has literally, our president has literally been at the helms of affairs of Lagos State for over 2 decades. Where is the Tinubu housing estate that when you go there, you know there is poor people that cannot afford to have, to be able to live in most of these areas that they are staying in? No, it's Eco Atlantic, which is good. But government has to take responsibility for those that cannot do it for themselves. That's the idea of government. It's not just about profit and the rich. Okay, what of all the poor? Lagos is over 70% people, over 70% poor. Is it until they come and start robbing you that you know that you have to manage and take care of them and provide shelter over them? Shelter over their head? The most dangerous human being is the one that doesn't have anything to lose. And the ones that have very small, the small housing they have, you have demolished it, you're not upgrading it, you don't have any plans for resettlement, nothing. I said in an interview one day that, and he came with this Peter Obi situation when Peter won Lagos. He said, Igbo people want to take over, they want to take over Lagos, they want to. I said, it's again, people are not understanding history. We have had 2 military administrators that were Igbo of Lagos, Ukiwe, and there was another gentleman. They will come to me. These people are not the ones that converted all the properties of Lagos State when the federal government left to their personal property now. They are not the ones. They are not the ones that converted Bodilon, Lagos State. They are not the ones that converted the former deputy governor's house on Queen's Drive. Have you seen what they want to do with Makoko? FBT Coral. They want to sandfill it. And the value would then be over 110 billion. It's government and their friends. Same thing with Oworo. Same thing with Lasanja Kondi. Oh, is it non-indigenous that are doing that? Is it them? It's not them. Jakonde, the people have COO. They say, pay us something that makes sense. We have a COO. They have a court injunction saying that you cannot demolish it. I was in court today with them. The government did not make an appearance. The government does not care. They've seen the injunction. They don't care. They've demolished everything. People have a COO. So is that the non-indigenous that is doing that? So listen, all of that is a distraction. Because the people cannot campaign on their antecedents, on how they've made lives of people better, how they've lifted the poor out of poverty. Go and listen to the Chinese government talk about what they've done. It will be very hard to even say you want to campaign against people like that. I thought you mean 3, 4 things. But instead, these ones are just creating more homelessness, higher rents. More flooding. Flooding is about to start now. Watch. And then there's sand filling everywhere. When they finish with that sand filling and Makoko, you see how Lagos mainland will start flooding. Then the Minister of Environment will say that it's what is that his favorite word? Climate change. Climate change. Meanwhile, the intelligence of the natives were built on steel so that water can continue to flow. Similar intelligence with Venice, with Amsterdam. But now they want to just sand fill. Then charge 150,000 naira per square meter after they've chased all the poor people away. So I pray that in 2027, with all the difficulties people have faced, higher rents, higher price of fuel, even kerosene itself is hard to find. The higher price for lights. Now they've created Band-A. Band-A is not Band-A because we are not even having Band-A lights. But it's ridiculous the kind of money we are spending on light, right? You see the state of our inner roads. All of that, price of food. If people with all that suffering are still going to be focused on the distraction, I don't know. All we can do is continue enjoying ourselves to communities. Because it's easier for a light to stick on you if people don't know you. But if someone has met you, has shook your hand, knows you for who you are, Omowanina, what are you talking about? Omoebu, how? That's our son. We know his father. We know his father's brother. We know, you don't understand. It becomes harder. But when people have not met you, it's easy for some lies to just stick on you. So our focus has been endearing ourselves to communities, engaging in a lot of community activities, getting to know people, building that grassroots rapport. And by God's grace, those their lives will not stick again. But again, the major thing I beg Nigerians is this. Let us not be distracted. You see? When there is terrorism in this country, terrorists are not discriminating on your religion or even your tribe. Right? When there is hunger in this country, it is not discriminating. It's not discriminating. Go and look, when I went to Oru to visit them after they demolished the place, and a Yoruba APC chieftain was crying about how he lost everything. They came at 12 o'clock at night and destroyed his house. He's Yoruba, he has ticked that box. He's an APC chieftain. So, bad governance will touch all of us. So, let us make a decision based on character, love and empathy that your leader has for people, and the ability not to be a thief, not to be an only, someone that is going to be accountable to the people. Open the books of Lagos. When you say the price of a bridge is 1 billion, truly let it be 1 billion. Don't be saying a bridge is 5 billion when it is 1 billion. And then you do a bridge and all of us should clap for you. You understand? These are the facts, these are the things that we need. These are the deep things that will affect you, affect your mother, your father, your children. You know, these are the things. So I hope, we can only hope because, you know, Nigeria is another situation, you know, but we'll keep trying.
Okay, I understand that you've been doing a lot of community
Engagement.
Pictures are everywhere of how you engage people and of how you go to cultural events, festivals, and all of that. Like you said, this is a way to endear yourself to the people and all of that. But what are you seeing from this engagement? What are the things that are obvious that are going to help your campaign in 2027?
I think that, you see, and this is just me being very honest with you. You see, because APC have been in such control of Lagos State for so long, there's a genuine fear of what will happen if someone else takes charge. Not by the APC, by just general people that are associated with the APC in one way or form, or they've made money, or they know people in government. And just in speaking and getting, okay, we know somebody that knows this person now. You understand? Bad as he bad, we know this young man. This young man is not going to... when you don't know something, it's the fear of the unknown. When you know a person, that fear starts to reduce. So that's a major value to it. And the truth of the matter is, why am I doing all of this? Why haven't I joined the APC? Because I want a Lagos that works for everybody, not for a select few. As long as you have that same interest at heart, I will work for you, right? I will work for the civil servant. They'll most likely earn more money in my government than in any government in the APC. It's a fact. Why? Because I'm going to demand so much more of them. We need to deliver excellence. They need to truly be civil servants. So there needs to be a level of transparency in our accounting. So to do that, I must make sure that they are earning enough so they don't feel the need to be seeking money elsewhere. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? To whom much is given, much is expected. And I'm going to expect much from them. Right? Similar thing with people in the civil service. If you are doing well and you have wonderful ideas, we'll work together. There's nothing to be afraid of. Absolutely nothing. If the only people that have something to fear are the thieves, people that are trying to, there are some people that make a lot of money from just being a bottleneck or an
agent.
No, the word is not agent. It's like a hurdle. Like if let me give you an example. Loma, the first week I get in, we're opening up that system. If three of you can gather money and buy a truck, you register on Loma, just like Uber, we'll give you a route, you have to start taking it. You don't need to know anybody in Alausa. Why? Because you see, when you're moving around Lagos, you see all the time where trash is in the middle of the road. It's because trucks are not coming there often. And trucks are not coming there often because they feel people are not paying their bills. And that's their simple equation. People are not paying their bills, so we are not going to pick trash. But guess what? There's a bigger cost. Why? When tourists come, when people were saying Lagos is dirty, people were saying, oh, keep quiet, go back to your state, blah, blah, blah. When I Show Speed came to Lagos, do you see how disgraceful that was when he was doing his nose like this? I don't know if you saw that video. And he was saying Lagos is smelly. Oh yeah, well, let the Minister of Environment insult I Show Speed down. Let the government, let all the APC people start insulting I Show Speed. Because he came to Lagos and he said Lagos was smelling. Indeed, Lagos is smelling. So we need more service providers. Even if places cannot afford to pay that bill, that should be subsidized by the state. Because it is in our interest for Lagos to generally be seen as a clean city. It attracts more tourists. When you attract more tourists, you attract more foreign investments, right? More foreign investment, more foreign expenditure, tourism revenue comes in, more businesses make more money, there's more capital flowing, which results towards more taxes, higher income for the government. That equation is not just they cannot pay their Loma bill, so we are not going. There are other costs. It's just like the cost of safety. If your city feels safe, more people will come there, more people come and settle there, more people will do more business there. Like Dubai. Dubai is clean. Dubai is safe. The people that carry gold into Dubai, they are walking with their briefcase with gold all over Dubai streets. It's safe. And that brings in more money, more business, more taxes. Right? But so you see the situation where people will complain about something to government. And the government's response is to insult them and tell them to go back to their states. And you see, when you hear things like that, you realize these people don't really know the history of Lagos. They don't know where Lagos is coming from. And the problem is that they have an idea of Lagos in the last 20 years. But Lagos is far bigger. Different groups came in, added to Lagos, built Lagos. That's why Lagos is like no other state in this country. No other state. So I feel that it's important to have a government that listens, that's accountable, that's truly serving the people, that will put the people first with whatever development that they want to do. I expected that at an Uwuru or a Makuku or an Ilason, they will sit down in the community and have a proper conversation and solve a problem before they start demolishing, right? Make them an offer they cannot refuse. The monies that they're going to make off these places is huge. So why be greedy? Why do you want to get it for little or nothing? Right? Make a part of your project the welfare of these people that you are going to dispossess. Makoko is tied to a community that has been there for over 100 years. It's actually older than Lagos State. Lagos State. When I say Lagos State, we're talking about Bolaji Johnson. I'm not talking about Iko. I'm not talking about Lagos State. Now, these people live there, and that is tied to how they make a living. This is what they know: fishing, moving, logging wood, processing wood. Okay, you want to move them away. What are you going to do about their skill set? What kind of new skills are you giving them? What training are you giving them to be able to live somewhere else? What's that process like? What does it look like? If you want to fill so many hectares of land and be selling it at 150,000 naira per square meter, okay, can you not section out, even if it's 10 or 15% of that, and build a couple of high rises where they can be relocated to and stay? Why not? All of us, if all the big men, they have driver now, they have cook, they have help. Where are those ones supposed to be staying? Why must their family be somewhere in Ikorodu or in far away, and they see their family every weekend? Who is raising those children? Like, even as a society, as a culture, as a government, you should be thinking about the social fabric that is going to come of age in the next 20 years. You understand? There's no big plan. There's no big vision. The only place where I see big plan and big vision are the big projects for the big men. Simple.
My next question is about the saying that if, based on the infrastructural deficits in Lagos, and if you have to marry it with the resources that Lagos has, there is a huge gap. And if these developments would go on, these infrastructures would be built, a lot of people would be affected. Maybe the houses demolished. That was one of the defenses that came from the Oworan Makoko demolition.
Okay.
That it is, I think the word they used was defacing. I think
Defacing.
I think that was the word they used. So if they want to develop those areas, it has to affect some people. And these are the conversations going on. But I want you to look at Lagos as a city where people come in every day, and it's overpopulated. I don't know if I can use overpopulated because that's also relative. Yeah. But it's assumed to be overpopulated. Wow. So how does development happen in this kind of situation where there are a lot of shanties, a lot of unapproved constructions, a lot of people hanging out in different places? How can this be managed based on your outlook or your understanding of the governance required?
Okay, so there are a number of myths that people peddle around. One, Lagos State is overpopulated. That's not true. Compared to most other mega cities or high urban states or cities. That's the first thing. Secondly, you look at a situation like Ilason Jakonde. You cannot say that was unplanned. You cannot say that they did not have planning permission. You cannot say that they did not have sea of wood. You cannot say anything. It was a land grab. Simple as that. It was a land grab. Now, there is a conversation, and you've alluded to that, about defacing the city. That assumes that there is a vision for the city, which is like a Dubai vision for the city. They want every part of Lagos to look like Eco Atlantic. That's all well and good. But 70% of the population is poor. You cannot be having dreams of Eco Atlantic and not lifting the poor to meet the Eco Atlantic level, right? China did not just start demolishing all the hutongs in Beijing and then, without doing anything to create opportunities for its people to be lifted out of poverty. They focus on their people first. They focus on their people. Human capital development, they focus on their people to the extent where there are so many things, like each district, it has a specialty. If you want to do electronics, you go to a particular part of China. You want leather goods, go to a particular part of China. You think that just happened by accident? That was policy. That was governance. And it is in this specialization that it lifted so many people out of poverty. To the extent that Apple cannot make its products anywhere except China. Right? Deliberate policy. Now, you also find that these demolitions, governments can only take land like that in the public interest, in public good. So, for instance, you want to do a new road. It's stated in law that that is for the overriding public good. You can demolish some things and compensate. But when you are taking land and demolish it to sell to your friend, that's going to Sandfield and build houses that are not affordable, but houses for the rich. Houses for the rich. Because I saw a statistic, and I might not get numbers correct, but it's a very small percentage that earns more than 400,000 naira a month in this Lagos. Very, very tiny percentage. A lot of rents are 6, 7 million, 8 million, and you have to pay per year at once. Do you understand? So many people cannot afford that. That's why they're living under the bridge. That's why they're living in shanties. Government's role is to create processes by which people can have shelter. There should be fantastic, innovative design for affordable housing. Right? You look at bullet housing in capsule housing in Japan. There's so many unique, beautiful designs that you can just create smaller spaces for people. And that can be the beauty of what we're doing, which is creating affordable housing. Right? But nothing like that. The way the government goes around, you think that everybody is rich. You just think everybody is rich. And maybe they think that way because they don't interact with the people. Maybe only when it's time for elections. So only will become a hairdresser, an usher, and an electrician at the same time. But before that, maybe they're just hanging out with themselves. So they must think that everybody is rich. Majority of Lagos is poor. People are begging. Right? People are begging. Lagos is very expensive. And you cannot say that if you cannot afford to be in Lagos, then go. That's not the spirit of Lagos. That's not the spirit of Lagos. And that's why I keep saying that people don't really understand the essence, the soul of this city. And it is in that soul that Lagos is great. That's where the IGR comes from now. It's not the ghost. It's the people that feel that they can come here and they will be excellent and they'll make something of themselves. And Lagos rewards that. That's why you have the wealth that is here. I was on my way to the office today. I passed by Kingsway. And I was looking. I saw Samad Bois is building his tower. Next to Samad Bois' tower, Dangote is building his tower. Opposite that, Alakija has a tower. That is Lagos. That is Lagos. Which other city, which other state can that happen? On one road, the richest black man has built his tower. The second one, Bois has built his tower. That's Lagos. It's not happening in Ondo. It's not happening in Ogun State. It's not happening in Osun or Ekiti. It's not happening in Anambra or Delta. You understand? That's what Lagos is. There are people that come here. Their fathers came here poor. Today they are millionaires. They are adding to the IGR. They are adding to taxes. They are building, developing. They are developing Lagos. When you move around Lagos, you go to Ikoyi, it's private people that are building those things now. So when we say Lagos is beautiful, it's built a lot by the private citizen. That is Lagos. You can come here poor. In a generation, you can be rich. That's why families in Lagos that have owned land since their grandfather, right? It's only in Lagos that people that have been poor, they will sell their family land. All of a sudden, they are billionaires. Which other state can do that? No. You understand? So we need to make Lagos, my vision for Lagos is a Lagos where, one, all these, I'm not sure if you saw that breakdown in State Assembly where they said then they're paying 180 something billion every year for consultancy fees. We know where that's going to Alpha Beta. And all these other monies, those monies are held for the Commonwealth of Lagos. And we are spending on the Commonwealth of Lagos. So the young boy that is born adjacent to Makoko or Abulegba is getting quality education like the kid in Ikoyi. There was a time that used to happen. There was a time where my grandfather was a judge, right? His son and his driver's son were in the same school, getting the same quality education. Why not? Why not? Why not? It's in the interest of the government because those young men that have gotten quality education will come out and add value to society and pay more taxes. As opposed to having young men that you have demolished their houses, they don't have any place to go, they'll be hanging around in that area, they'll be walking on the street, they are street boys, they're now sleeping on the floor. When your car parks spoils at night, they'll come and harass you, you'll be angry that they're harassing you. People say Lagos is not safe, they don't want to stay in Lagos, they don't want to visit it. You see the chain reaction, right? Why are they on the street at that time? Because they don't have shelter. If they have shelter, they'll go home. There's no home to go to. But people don't see that. You understand? So we need a Lagos where everybody has a place. There's affordable housing. You have deliberately thought about the masses. As you're also thinking about the rich. Right? When I worked in England, you cannot get planning permission if you don't have an affordable housing component in your project. You will not get it. You can build a tower, expensive apartment. There must be some that will be allocated to the council for people that have lost their jobs, for people that don't have an income. Why? Because the city is not supposed to be divided as poor versus rich. Everybody should have a place. There should be a process by which you can have a place. There should not be a place that is strictly poor. Do you understand? So that's the Lagos that I want. That's the Lagos of my dream. A Lagos where every local government has all the amenities that they need. Right? In Lagos today, God forbid something happens to anybody here. How long will it take to get an ambulance here? There should be an ambulance and emergency service in every ward that is focused on people that are just about to give birth, people that get into accident, people that have gone in coma. The first place you go to where you are stabilized before you start on the journey to find the hospital that can take you. Right? You can do that with 20 billion. That's how much 40 people are budgeting for car every year for themselves. It's painful though. It's painful. There's something, and I'm going to bring it up now. You see what I'm talking about? I'm close to tears just thinking about that. Right? And I will have this conversation. And then somebody will now start talking about tribe and language. Do you understand how frustrating that is? Do you know how many people are dying in this Lagos today? Because my friend, they will send me their Shobi for his mother's burial today. He messaged me earlier today that his mother just collapsed in the house in Surulere. Right? By the time they carried her to the first hospital, the hospital said they cannot manage the situation because they don't know. As the time when they were getting to another hospital, he had already gone ahead, told them, so they had brought the bed, the stretcher down, and oxygen. As they got to the gate, she passed. Now the thing is, if that stretcher and everything was at the first hospital, or emergency come and get them, that woman will be alive today. This is someone that's close to me. Talk less of all the people that died on a daily basis. Nigeria killed them. It was not their time to die. If they were living in a proper society, they will be alive today. And these are things that you can use money and solve. Not even developed world, in China, in different parts of the world, they are experimenting with drones to put out fires. Drones to put out fires. There are things, there are these balls that have carbon in it that you can throw into a fire and it just absorbs the entire fire. Right? There are people making drones in this country today. Lagos State has not thought that, you know what, we have been dealing with fires everywhere. Let's talk, let's have collaborations, let's do experiments, let's build something of a new innovative fire service. But if they want to budget how they'll have house in Abuja, that assembly will be full. That assembly will be full. It's not, the fires that have happened in Lagos State back to back to back to back did not strike anybody that, you know, let us start looking at drones, especially for high rises. This is not something that's expensive. Vision, empathy, right? Character, and not being a thief. Because the problem is everybody's thinking about how they'll put money aside for themselves, that they cannot think about the betterment of the people. The human brain cannot do the two at the same time. Politicians lie to themselves that they can be stealing from society and develop the society. It's not possible. That's why you see the level of development that Alhaji Lateef Jakonde delivered. Then compare it to his life. Was he living in a big house on Body Lawn? Was he? Did he have several cars? Were his children on the boards of construction companies that were doing projects in Lagos State? No. He poured everything in him for the people of Lagos. And that's why you see level. Look at all he did in 4.5 years. That's it. But if you are thinking about how you will steal, how you keep this for yourself, how you sell this one to your friend, keep some land, keep some money, you cannot, that same brain. The human brain is not like that. You cannot steal from people's lives and make people's lives better. It's one or the other. You understand? So my vision for Lagos is a Lagos that works for all of us, a Lagos that everybody can feel that they belong, a Lagos that is actively raising the quality of lives of the people up, you know, in the interest of the long run and for their overall happiness, quality of life, just better living.
Okay, rounding up now, towards 2027, what is the campaign going to look like? What's going to be different? What are the outlook for you? What are the plans for selling these grand ideas to Lagosians at the very grassroots?
So yes, the grassroots movement has to be very, very strong this time. And I thank God that, you know, we are in a more robust party that has, you know, very, I don't want to use the word powerful, but people that, you know, they've been in this game for some time, they're strong, you know. So it makes the entire process more robust. So the grassroots campaign will be will focus heavily on that. That's the first thing. I think the main difference between this election and last election is that we are not going to be bullied. You see, they started. I did my declaration, the sent thugs and the police come and disrupt it.
I was going to ask about the controversy about names on, I think you put out a name for coordinators.
It's not coordinator. Those are the local government chairmen of the party. Those are the chairmen that I met in the party. Do you understand? I'm not the owner of ADC now. I'm still going to contest against people to even get the ticket. I'm not yet the candidate. So now talk about it as if I'm the owner of ADC. I just wrote the list and put it up. I met chairmen in the party. These people are people that they've been threatening them. NRTW has been threatening them. They've experienced so much violence. They put guns on some people's head, use machete to wound some people. These people are the people that say they are the chairman. Yes, you don't know this. You just see what happened in Alimosho over the weekend. Oh, you think it's just the ones that make the news? What of the small ward meetings that someone come with keke and gun and machete? So the question, why are they so scared? If the APC has done so well for the people, why are they so scared? Why are they scared? I was just going to do a declaration in a church. Why send thugs? The commissioner of police was even there. Why? What are you scared of? Focus on making the lives of people better. Improve the lives of people. They will vote for you. It's not by force to lead people. It clearly means you don't deserve it. You know you don't deserve it. The reason why you're afraid is because you know you don't deserve to be leading this country, this state. That's why. So they want to intimidate. They are doing this in the hope that people will be afraid, they will not come. But we are not afraid. We are not afraid. And that's going to be the biggest difference this next election. Because nobody's going to court. Nobody's going to court. That one of, if you are not happy, go to court. Nobody's going to court. Whatever is going to happen that day. Because there's only so long we are going to accept to be bullied. Only so long. Only so long. And my own sister, that day, she had to rush to the hospital to get a stitch in her head. My own blood sister. Because of what? They are so scared. Do well for people. You will see LCDA chairman carry shoulder, come with 60 police to come and shut down a venue so that I will not do a thing. The road that they drove on was so bad. They were not even ashamed. They were not ashamed. They drove on that road with their jeep. But they were not ashamed. Shebi, if you have done the road, and the place is good. He has gone to church, he will come out now. Nobody will care. Who is that one? What? Can he talk? Look at the work we are doing. Look at the work we are doing. But they know they are not doing any work. That's why they are scared. That's why they are scared. And we are not giving up. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. It's just, that's going to be very different. Let me just leave it at that. It's going to be very different.
Okay. I think we'd also like to leave it at that.
Right.
Thank you very much. But I'd like you to, as we round up, any random thoughts, anything you want to talk about?
I just hope that, people say that Nigerians have a very short memory. And memory is very important. Memory is extremely important because if you cannot remember, if you cannot hold on to things and quality of governance and just assess what the quality of your life has been in a time frame, then you're like a fish, you're like a frog. That's not human. You should be able to look and see, okay, this is not quite working out. Let's try something else, right? Especially when you have this kind of experience. You see, if things were just okay, your life is still kind of the same, then someone can forgive the idea that you're indifferent. But life has gone so badly down. Even the rich are crying. You'll be surprised. People cannot keep their business going. The price of diesel is ridiculously high. People that will normally be able to buy things, they don't have disposable income like that. So it's not easy. So you cannot pretend as if you have not felt the consequence of governance. So these things have to factor in to your decision making. It's not by tribe. It's not by religion. These are things that are used to divide us. But suffering does not divide us. Bad governance does not divide us. If your house is burning and fire service cannot come and put it out, it's not because of your tribe. If they're demolishing your places and disobeying court orders, it's not because of your tribe. It's because this is a lawless government. They have no respect or value for the justice. Right? And you don't say because it's not affecting you, you just turn your head away. Eventually it will reach you. Eventually it will reach you. There are famous sayings. I'm not even going to bother quoting them. But there are famous sayings that you don't, because bad things happen to somebody, you turn the other way because it's not affecting you. Eventually, when it gets to you, everybody else will turn the other way. You understand? Nigeria is our country. Lagos is our state. You are here, you're adding value to it. Lagos is your state. Let's get a leader who will manage our commonwealth in a way that you will know that this person is working for you. This person is working for you. You're not seeing these huge monies for car, for house, for this, for 40 people. Meanwhile, over 18 million people are in hunger and are suffering in the same state. So please, Lagosians, let's do better. You did greatly in 2020. It's time to do better. God bless you.